At the beginning of Walden, we already gain a strong sense of whom Henry David Thoreau is and what he is trying to accomplish. When he sets out to build a house, he is literally starting with nothing and has to go to someone to borrow his axe. This is where we first see Thoreau's character shown, when he returns the axe sharpened and in better condition than when he borrowed it. Once he has shelter, he begins to plan his finances and diet, which consisted of beans, corn, and potatoes. He even went as far as to break down the exact cost of building his house, which turned out to be $28.12. This all goes along with his theory that all you need in life are four things: food, shelter, clothing, and fuel. His goal throughout the book is to gain complete freedom from materialistic society. This all to me is a great representation of how in life good things come to those who work for it. Life can be simple and basic and be everything you need to survive.
In the chapter of visitors, Thoreau talks about his visitors at Walden. Thoreau's visitors are very important to him and keeps 3 chairs ready at all times for them. Aware of his small space in his house, Thoreau often moves the conversation outside. Not concerned with providing food for his guests, Thoreau is more concerned with providing his visitors spiritually rather than materially. Although they are not showered with food, the guests still come. More visitors than he is used to compared to when he lived in town. Overall, he believes his quality of socialization has improved. Taking into consideration that his living quarters are out of the way for his visitors, he realizes the visitors that he does receive are more interested in him and his journey since they have to make the journey from town just to see him. A man named Alex Theron, who was a woodsman, came to visit. Theron cannot read or write, as Thoreau describes he lives an animal life. Thoreau admires this about him. Being uneducated has made Theron become humble and modest. Thoreau compares Theron to Walden Pond, saying that Theron's mind is as deep as Walden is bottomless, though it may appear dark and muddy. Thoreau sees that his other visitors are more educated than Theron, such as businessmen and farmers, tend to not enjoy the forest because their lives are, in Thoreau's words, all taken up with getting a living. Thoreau's views on his visitors at Walden is quite intellectual for a man who has desires of living alone in the wild. Thoreau notices that his visitors are genuinely interested in him and his stories due to the fact that they are going out of their way just to come see him. Although analyzing, he does not judge his visitors or frown upon them. Theron is a great example of how Thoreau can see the better in someone even when he is obviously on a higher level than Theron is. This shows how caring and reflective Thoreau is.
When Thoreau starts with his daily task of collecting water from the pond, he is joined by a group of fishermen who bring up how Walden Pond is considered to be bottomless to the locals. Thoreau decides to challenge this myth by taking matters in his own hands, by tying fishing line to a stone as a way to measure the depth of the pond. He measures the pond to be over 100 feet. He develops a theory where the point of the greatest depth is where the axis of the greatest length meets with the axis of the greatest breadth, which he applies to how a person's behavior and circumstance in life leads to the depth of a person's soul. In the chapter, The Pond in Winter, Thoreau is not content with the reputation of Walden Pond being considered bottomless, so he goes out of his way to disprove this myth. When Thoreau discovers the depth of the pond to be 102 feet, he says, "I am thankful that this pond was made deep and pure for a symbol." He wanted to disprove the bottomless perception to show there was depth, like a person's mind and soul. I personally believe Walden is trying to say, instead of following what everybody else wants you to do and following what everybody else is doing in their lives, you have to make your own life and make your own mark within eternity.
At the end of Thoreau's journey, his intentions for leaving were the same for going. He believed there are other perspectives in life, you just had to change your experience. Thoreau didn't need a fancy car, nice clothes, a big house, or lots of money to feel successful. Success is determined by self-reflection. Anyone can complete a task and say they were successful. Not many can look back and say they gave it their all and that the event changed their life. Thoreau's experience in the woods made him want others to wake up and actually sit back and realize what is happening with the world. There are other things that go on in the world that aren't involved in our everyday lives. I believe this is true. As a society, every once in a while we should take perspective on someone else's life. Think about what their everyday tasks are and the troubles that can be involved. Thoreau's experience is an eye-opening one. Our society could not do or survive with what he did, and for how long. Every day is a new day. Every day we have the opportunity to change the views and how we look at this world. Next time you're out walking alone, look around you and take in how beautiful nature really is. It's a wonderful thing.